Yeah. Yes. Hello, everyone. I welcome you to the new show of the collaborative talk show, which is organized by the Circle of Legends. Today, we have a very interesting topic to discuss. The topic says emotional intelligence in the industry. Why we are going to discuss that and how we can know what is emotional intelligence. We have a special guest to unfold every details about emotional intelligence. We have today as our guest as Mr. Milind Kher. Mr. Milind Kher is an emotional intelligence specialist, an NLP practitioner, and also he is a ICF certified life coach. So over to you, sir. Do you want to add anything more?
Good evening. Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction. And all I'd like to say is that in addition to all these things that Nikita has told you, I work with the human mind and human relations to enable personal and professional excellence. Yeah.
Yes. So if you're working with human mind, so that is very fascinating because what is human mind? What is emotional intelligence? We want to know about that. Can you
Okay.
throw
Okay.
some light on it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So emotional intelligence is understanding the emotions of others, understanding our own emotions, and then crafting a behavior that is suitable to the context. So, for a very easy understanding of emotional intelligence, what they have done is they have divided it into, according to some people, four clusters, according to some people, five clusters. So, Dr. Travis Bradbury puts four clusters, Dr. Daniel Goleman puts five clusters. So the traditional model of Daniel Goleman is accepted. So it is self-awareness, self-regulation, it's motivation, empathy, and social skills. These are the five clusters that go on to make up emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Oh, so this is something like relating to like self-awareness. People should be aware more about themselves, what they want to do, how should be the social skills, basically, I can call them, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we look at it two ways, Nikita. We look at ourselves and we look at others. So when we are looking at ourselves, we are looking at self-awareness, we are looking at self-regulation. Motivation overlaps both. Motivation talks about us, and motivation also talks about others. And whereas empathy and social skills is about others. So we first
Okay.
look at ourselves, we make ourselves robust, and then after that we deal with how we operate with others. Yeah.
Okay. So, can you give us a small example where we students can relate what is exactly emotional intelligence in the industry?
Okay. Emotional intelligence in the industry. That's a very good question. Now, it's got to do a lot. Okay, it's got to do a lot with um, the students being aware of what they are. It's got to do about their self control and their adaptation. So, if I give you an example, right,
Hmm.
very often in an MBA college, when the student goes and joins the company, the student thinks that they're going to have a cabin, and they think that they're going to have a secretary and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
actually, it doesn't work like that. All right, because I remember when I joined in ITC, I didn't even get a place to sit. All right, I was just asked to go to the distributor shop, and in the distributor shop, I had to go for a week. I was just putting up posters on all the pawn shops. Then later, I had to take two baskets, and I had to sell cigarettes in 5 packet lots, that kind of thing. So, to come back to the example, what the student entering the new company needs to understand is that the sheltered existence that they had in college, all right, the kind of protection that they enjoyed, now that is not there in the workplace. In the workplace, they're completely on their own. So therefore, they need to be very good at relationship building. They need to be very good at uh, getting along with their peers, and therefore their team building skills also have to be good. and they have to work with a lot of initiative. So therefore, that is where the dedication and sincerity, which emotional intelligence talks about in self-regulation, that comes about.
Okay, that's really because we always often confuse with many things like IQ, EQ, and then we are like, okay, what exactly it is, and we are not able to figure out. But I
Yeah,
guess this is a great example to understand what exactly it is, how to communicate, because I guess communication is the key in this where we can, which
yeah.
can help eventually.
Yes, communication is a part
Hmm.
of social skills. So that comes in the last cluster of emotional intelligence, and it's very critical. You're right.
Yeah. So, like moving on further, like, can you tell me, is it a skill or is it a quality? What should we exactly call emotional intelligence?
Experts are divided in their opinion about this. However, I will go with the school of thought that says that it is a skill, and I'll tell you why it is a skill. It is a skill because it is something that can be worked on all the time. There is a thing called the emotional muscle. So the more we work upon emotional intelligence, the better and better we get at it. Whereas IQ is something that a person is born with, emotional intelligence can always be acquired, and emotional intelligence can always be built upon. And in 58% of cases where interpersonal relationships are involved, EI makes a difference. 90% of people who are successful are also high in EI. So the World Economic Forum has put EI as number six amongst all the skills that we need on the planet. And now, when I look at the pandemic and I look at various things that are happening, I think we might see it edging towards number one also. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's great. So, can you tell me how can we enhance this skill?
Okay. So, how do you how do you improve your health? You improve your health by eating better food. How do you
Yeah.
increase your fitness? You increase your fitness by exercising. So it works in the same way for emotional intelligence. For emotional intelligence, also you have to keep working on the different clusters. And there is a sequence in which it progresses. First, you get into self awareness. When you are completely aware about yourself, then after that, you move to self regulation so that you are able to exercise impulse control. See, today, impulse control is something that is vital, and especially, when you are in Gen Z at that point in time, you're very impatient, you're very energetic, you want every result to happen right away because it's the time of fast internet and fast food and everything. However, these are things that need to be built on. Having done that, we get the motivation. We are able to get empathy of people, and having got all this, then we ultimately exercise our social skills. Uh, a very simple thing I will tell you is what instinctively appeals to you. Always examine it because the easy things always appeal to us. So the more difficult stuff we tackle, the better we are able to progress and the more emotionally intelligent we're able to become.
So, we should not never forget
Yeah,
doing great things and going out of our comfort zone, I must say.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we should always try exploring and adventuring stuff that will
Yes,
level us up in emotional intelligence daily, I guess.
correct,
Right?
correct, correct. And
Okay.
in, in in fact, I have one more theory. I've always heard of people saying that we move out of our comfort zone, which I completely agree with. I would say let's go even a step beyond that. Let's expand our comfort zone. Let's become so capable that nothing is uncomfortable for us.
So we could achieve everything, right?
Yeah, correct, correct, absolutely.
Okay. So basically, it is like trying out new things, talking to people, getting to
Yeah.
know yourself first is the first priority, then
Yes.
going out, interacting, understanding, exploring things around, which will lead us to enhance our EQ at a very good level. So,
Correct. Correct.
if we are in industry, like we are also growing in industry, like every day everyone is growing. Now, as you said, today's generation want like a rapid growth. They
Right.
are like, I want to be this, then tomorrow I want to be a next person, I want to be a
Hmm.
manager, I want to be a senior manager, and everything like leveling up in a very rapid space. What would you suggest? Because there is a news also out like, um we need even if you have a high IQ but a low EQ, you're not selected for such positions. So
Yes,
why is
because
this happening?
this is happening because I think possibly not enough time has been devoted to it. Nowadays, see what's happening. Neuroscience tells us there are 40,000 to 50,000 thoughts that we are having every day. Theories vary from 30,000 to 80,000 people take that band of thoughts that are happening. Now, when you have so much stuff that is happening, the question is, are you focusing on what is the right stuff? So you definitely need to have the right kind of mentor. You need to be in the right kind of fora, and you need to have the right kind of training to understand. See, I'll tell you a very simple thing that we have all these theories about emotional intelligence. We have all the research and everything. The simplest measure of emotional intelligence is, do people feel happy and comfortable in your presence? If people feel happy and comfortable in your presence, that means you're emotionally intelligent.
Oh, that's like surprising.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
And
what happens?
yeah.
Because what happens? Everyone is like, okay, I have learned, I have done this education. I'm going to get a job through my campus, whatever it is, and like people settle on that things sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then in a long run, they realize, okay, this is not something that I wanted to do, and I've devoted so much time to it. Now they are not happy with what they are doing. So this
True.
happens in future. And whereas like if we know it beforehand, it can create a difference in a long run.
Definitely. And the other thing is, emotional intelligence teaches us to be people oriented. Now, I'll tell you the classical thought process is that the elder people are mentors to the youngsters. However, I think there is a need for reverse mentoring. The youngsters have to now take the lead and they have to teach the elder generation a lot of things which they may not be knowing. See, today I may not be perfectly tech savvy. Today I may not be there on all platforms. So if I have a youngster with me who's tech savvy and who tells me about platforms and all, I'm very happy to help that person grow. So when we add value to others, then others add value to us. No.
Yeah, definitely. So it is like helping both sides, like
Yeah.
even if it is like not just mentoring, like we used to think that mentor should be always a higher level to us, but I
Hmm.
guess today it depends on what skills the person has, and that can
Correct.
add value to both sides. Like as we are here today, we are
Correct.
discussing something, but many are getting value out of it. Even I'm getting a value from you.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
this
hmm.
is like
Okay. Great.
understanding a whole new spectrum of it, what is emotional intelligence, which is always people oriented.
Yeah.
Like
And
talk, get involved. Yeah.
yes, yes. And emotional intelligence, most important thing, Nikita, is that it promotes a meritocracy. A meritocracy is where you are judged on how good you are and not about, whether you are senior and whether you're occupying a particular position. As the world progresses, those things are going to become less and less important. You're not going to be respected for your age and your designation. You're going to be respected for your knowledge, your teamwork, and your empathy. I think those are the new values that are coming in.
That's really great. So it is, I guess it is said rightly that the leader is always a person who can lead a team, who can talk with the team, who they can get involved with. It is not a
Absolutely.
person who has always accomplished everything. Okay, I've got full marks in this, I've got this, but he is not talking to people, and then that is not going to definitely help him if he
Yeah.
is shy and is introvert and stepping back. So, yes, this is everything from our side. Like, what exactly is emotional intelligence we have got to know today? It is always like understand yourself first, understand what you have, what you are lacking in. I guess it also deals with our strengths and weakness, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So in fact, we had a very beautiful word in ITC in our appraisals for strengths and weaknesses. They used to call it strengths and areas for improvement. Okay, so areas for improvement used to take the sting out of the thing. People didn't feel bad. Here, it is my weakness.
Oh, and so I guess that word has been changed just to, like a human tendency of like seeing it. If I'm
Hmm.
seeing word weakness, I feel okay, I have weakness, I'm feeling bad about it. But if we
Yeah.
give it as improvements, if it is rightly said, na, it is always a subconscious mind that deals with it. Because
Yes.
people think a lot about that thing, which they are not so much into it. Like do, they can improve. Like if we pour water in a vessel, it is eventually going to increase. So that
Hmm.
I guess that will help. Okay, so we have question from Dr. Pallavi. Is emotional intelligence. There are so many books being written on this
Correct.
topic, and we don't see business professionals implementing it at their workspace. Why do you think that is? It like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, correct. So I think that is because they may not have got sufficient exposure to it, and it may not have received the kind of focus and the priority that it actually deserves. This is starting to be recognized, but it's still in a nascent state. That's why.
okay. So I guess there are like during this pandemic period also many startups have came up and they're evolving at a rapid pace. But still somewhere some people go in and they come with saying that okay, I don't feel like working because we are working for like, let's say some are working for 24 hours, some are working like round the clock, and they are not enjoying their work. What will you tell that students to do?
See, as far as people who are not enjoying their work, there are two things they have to figure out. Firstly, whether they have a choice in that job or they don't have a choice.
Okay.
If they have a choice of job, then they can leave the job that they don't like and they can go for one that they like. So that will settle their problem. Of course, the employment market being where it is today, there isn't much of a choice. So you, you have to learn how to cope with that job. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Huh.
okay, and related to this is I think the question from Nancy saying knowing how smart you are is one thing, but in what way are you smart? So, what is the way that we are smart in? The way we are smart in is that we need to be able to know how to get along with people and how to get our work done. See, people talk about smart work and hard work. You
Hmm.
cannot do away with hard work. Okay, so hard work is basically your vehicle which is taking you. Smart work is your steering wheel and your accelerator and brake. You know when to turn at the right time. You know when to push at the right time. You know when to hold back at the right time. But without the vehicle, all that is of no use. So that vehicle is your hard work. So never give up hard work. Have your hard work and make your smart work. Fashion things around your hard work. Yeah?
Yes. So I guess that is a very good example. Okay. Are spirituality and religion belief other ways to develop EI?
Okay, that depends completely on the makeup of the individual. There are certain people who are religious and they're spiritual, if it works for them, fantastic. On the other hand, there may be people who may be atheists also. If that is the case, then they need to uh, go through the route of self-development, and that way AI will, help them. So, because there are all different kinds of people in the world, right?
Yeah, yes. It always depends. Okay. Now it's managing energy is important than time. So how to energize mentally and emotionally daily?
Okay, for this, I think India is the country that is possibly one of the best placed in the world. We have two fantastic things: yoga and meditation. So, yoga
Mm.
and meditation are both things that take the mind-body connection into account, and they, the, they really help us to focus. They help us to recharge. I have not read that book, but a lot of people have recommended to me that Autobiography of a Yogi is a fantastic book to read for understanding yoga and meditation.
Yeah, that's like solution to it can be.
Hmm.
And what do you think about the SWOT analysis, which is
Yeah. So SWOT analysis, understand one thing: there is an internal part to it, and there is an external part to it. So internal part is your strengths and your weaknesses. External part is your opportunities and your threats. So when we uh, have a mastery over our internal part, like they say, no, be the change that you want to see in others. And the law of attraction also says your vibe attracts your tribe. So once we are comfortable with our strengths and weaknesses, then opportunities and I mean the threats will automatically reduce and the opportunities will automatically manifest themselves for us.
yes. So yes, we are on the end of our show. So let's okay. So we are taking our last question now. Do you
Yeah,
think organization should organize program for their employees to envelop this skill?
I definitely think that developing this skill is something that will surely help, and organizations should do that as a part of their regular training interventions. Yes.
Yes. So that's great. Thank you so much, sir, for coming here and devoting time. It is really adding value for us because this has made us think in a different perspective. It, I guess, surely the audience have unfold the meaning of what exactly is emotional intelligence, understanding their selves, getting to know about their selves, what are their strengths, what are their areas of improvement, I must say from now, not just weakness, and also going further, like get around people, talk to people,
Sure.
understand them, empathize them. Like there are two phases, as sir said in the beginning, that first understand and then go out and talk to people so that you can empathize with them. So
Correct.
that's all
Correct.
what exactly is emotional intelligence. And start engaging in yourself, start engaging in people so that you will grow your emotional intelligence daily. Like
Sure.
you want to enhance it. So it is on you, not no one else can help you in it. So start doing it. You have to climb, you have to go out for adventures. And I'll not suggest to go out in this lockdown, but surely you can do virtual meetings, talk to people that will surely help you as we are doing this today. So thank you so much, sir. It's really our
My
pleasure
pleasure.
to have you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank the audience also. Hmm? Very nice. Okay.